With about 9 days to the conduct of the 2023 general election, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has warned that the cashless and currency swap policies of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, are constituting a major challenge to the polls. The Commission warned that if nothing is done to address the cash crunch caused by the policies, it will be difficult to deploy staff and materials for the election. Jide, before that, we know that conducting an election and even military operation, ordinarily, if you are posting police to location on off-season election or deploy detachment of military, and even INEC for their ad hoc staff and those people they will be deploying on the field that day, that most of them, it's a transaction that is conducted through cash.
Yes, as I've said before, Emefiele is trying to criminalize holding cash in our country. And our country has not reached that point. The National Security Advisor talked about the danger that even this policy constitutes to our war against terror in the Northeast and other parts of northern Nigeria. There are many places where there is no form of broadband presence. There are communities where Boko Haram has destroyed base stations. So there is nothing like you are able to use your phone. Yet we are moving everybody. We are trying to turn everybody to users of digital payment platforms and all that. I mean, it's ridiculous. Where, for example, Jigawa State, only 18% of the women actually have bank accounts. The rest of them, are they not human beings? Do they not deserve to be able to use their money that they had worked hard for? I mean, so this is the thing. I knew the moment the INEC chairman complained to Emefiele, and Emefiele said, look, we are going to address the problem. We are going to bring the money that INEC needs. I knew that for these guys, it's a problem. It's bus drivers that help them to convey material on election day. It's not as if INEC has its own vehicles and all that. You know? Now, we are even confronted with a situation in which for people who want to buy fuel, they tell you, no, go and bring cash, new notes. People who are desperately looking for new notes, they are trying to force fellow Nigerians to bring out the new notes that are not readily available. Last night when I was going home, I found so many people at a bus stop where normally you find dozens of bike riders. It's because everyone was not sure that these bike riders will take the old notes from them because some were already rejecting it. So how do they then go home? There's no reason to put our election in jeopardy or take actions that would impair or endanger the successful conduct of our election because we wanted to change the color of currencies. Because it's not redesigning. It's actually repainting that has been done. And it's horrible when you look at even the old currency you compare to this one.
Quality.
The difference in terms of quality is like night and day. Extremely atrociously poor quality of currency. Just hold the 1,000 Naira note for some time. Hold it in your hand just like this for some time. And by the time you open, if your palm is a little moisty, check what the currency looks like after all. Absolutely poorly printed and
Substandard.
not even pleasing on the eye in any way. And that's what we are holding and boasting about and subjecting people to needless agony. I mean, now that INEC is complaining, we want to see whether the CBN will not try to solve this problem. If they do not solve this problem substantially, then it means that their agenda is to ensure that we do not have elections in our country.
This problem is like self-inflicted. In the 2022 Electoral Act, it was said that the amount INEC is going to spend, money they are going to spend for any election, must have been released a year before, one clear year before the election. Now, let's say they've gotten the approval, but we're talking about physical cash now. And this will definitely hamper them from sorting out their vendors.
I think we have to be very careful not to allow any policy to be a source of extending our electoral process or the general elections. A lot of people have expressed their worry about whether this election is going to hold or not. And that has even prompted the INEC chairman to come out to say that they are ready for this election. But what we are saying now, and from what INEC is saying, I think for Nigerians that are discerning, it's like a warning signal. That's the way I look at it. Because INEC is saying we are ready with every other thing, but this is the only problem we are having. And if we continue to have this problem, then we may not be able to conduct this election because we need this money before we can do this. Because we need the money for logistics, we need the money for administration, for security purposes, and all of that. Now, is it self-inflicting? YES in capital? Yes. So what is happening now is supporting the belief of those who think that the general elections are not meant to hold. You know, some people have that belief that we are working towards having an interim government and all of that.
It's not in our constitution. That
which
will not
is
happen.
not even in our yes, but some people are saying
They are
saying that
yeah.
And if what I'm trying to say in essence is that we should not play into the hands of anyone, because if this cash crunch is not addressed, it is as good as saying that okay, we don't have money, therefore we cannot hold this election. Well, the CBN governor said he will provide money that the INEC needs. But we also know that all this while, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've also been told that Nigerians will have access to new notes and all of that, and people still don't have that access. So we cannot really say what the CBN, we cannot go to town with what is, we can't take, yes, that is what I'm saying. So it's really a serious issue. It's a serious issue, and we need to address it, because there shouldn't be any reason whatsoever for this election that we've all been waiting for not to hold at the end of the day.